What's going on, everyone? It's Young Man. Today's December 9th, 2025. Today we're going to be talking about Bitcoin, Metaplanet, and strategy. I appreciate you clicking on the video. As you can see, we got a different setup today. No longer recording the YouTube videos off the iPhone. I like the iPhone, but it's not made to record YouTube videos. So if you guys have watched my videos while I was recording on the iPhone, you're an OG, you're a whale. Shout out to you. We appreciate you sticking through the poor quality, but now we got the microphone, we got the webcam. We're up. Today, we have Bitcoin is up as well. Back up to 94,000. Strategy pumped a bit, Metaplanet pumped a bit. Good vibes. Good vibes for the people that hold Bitcoin, good vibes for the people that are interested in these treasury companies. Today, I don't really have a focus or a specific topic that I'll be talking about. I just wanted to give a quick update about the treasury companies. We had Michael Saylor and Simon Garovich sit down and have a fireside chat that is bullish, that is inspiring. It's what you want to see. As a Metaplanet investor, as a strategy investor, you want to see these two guys being friendly. As we know, Bitcoin is non-exclusive. The way that uh, it's set up is not necessarily competitive. It is competitive, but the better strategy does, the better Simon and Metaplanet do. The better Simon and Metaplanet do, the better strategy does. They're competing for this market that is digital credit, but they're not necessarily competitors. It's a sort of friendly competition because everybody can get paid. That's why we talk about Bitcoin, because everybody can get paid. It doesn't exclude, it doesn't play favorites. Anyone can participate in this network. And you don't have to be wealthy, but it's a way to become wealthy. It's a way to change your life, it's a way to expand your freedom. And yeah, we're just really excited today. It's been a long couple of months for the Bitcoin treasury companies as far as short-term performance. As you guys know, we don't really care about short-term performance, but it is nice to see green when you go on your phone and check out your investments. So, with all that being said, um, I'll quickly just mention a few of the things I noticed about the chat between Simon and Michael. First of all, Michael Saylor said that he will not be entering the Japanese market with his digital credit instruments for at least 12 months. They kind of jokingly said that, or Michael jokingly said that he'll give Simon a 12-month head start in the Japanese market, which they're just being playful, but it is kind of nice to hear because not that you have to be worried about Sailor vulturing um, the Japanese institutional investors with his credit instruments because Japanese people are generally interested in investing in Japanese products and companies. We don't necessarily have to be worried about that dynamic, but it is nice to hear that they're acting in good faith and he's giving him a 12-month head start. And um, Simon also said that he hopes Michael will welcome him into the USA at some point, and Michael Saylor said absolutely. They have a good relationship. I think that they both want to see each other succeed. Since Saylor started 4 years before Metaplanet did, it's not so much that Metaplanet can keep strategy from succeeding, but strategy could potentially keep Metaplanet from having a certain degree of success, only because they have so much more Bitcoin. They're so far ahead. But the general sentiment from that chat that they had is that it's not in their interest to try to suppress the performance of each other. friends, they're friendly. They both are positioning themselves to be co-winners. It's not necessarily winner take all. So that's a long or a lot of words just to say that the outlook for Metaplanet and Strategy is great right now. Not financial advice, but it would be probably worth your time to look into Metaplanet and look into Strategy. These are the two biggest Bitcoin treasury companies. They put Bitcoin on the balance sheet and they have the tools of the capital markets to accumulate more and more Bitcoin and to increase Bitcoin per share. So I've talked about this concept before, but I'll mention it again. Bitcoin is compounding. It's gone from $10 to $100 to $1,000 to $100,000 and will likely go to $1 million. It's compounding. These treasury companies are compounding Bitcoin per share, Satoshis per share, and it's in a similar fashion. It's not linear. As the time moves forward, each share of these companies represents more Bitcoin. So you potentially can own something that is exposed to exponential growth on top of exponential growth. It's actually absurd. When you really sit down and you think about it, a $2 share of Metaplanet could likely turn into a $2,000 share of Metaplanet in your lifetime. In 15 to 25 years, that could happen. We're talking about 1,000x. That's why I sit down and I make these videos. I'm not a financial advisor. I don't have any information that's not public. I don't know anything that you couldn't know. I just have researched this extensively and feel the need to make videos explaining these two Bitcoin treasury companies. I also will say, just because I'm so optimistic about strategy and Metaplanet does not mean I'm optimistic about all of the treasury companies. There are so many Bitcoin treasury companies that will not do well. It's not winner take all, but it's winner take most. And there's only room for one or two of these style of companies in each capital market. I'm not telling you to go look at the 50th treasury company and put your net worth in it. I'm not telling you anything. I'm not a financial advisor, but I exclusively on this channel talk about strategy and Metaplanet. Yes, there's probably 10 more that will do very well, but those are the two that I'm interested in. So, um, like I said, I don't really have a direction with this video, just some basic updates about these Bitcoin treasury companies. But I will also say Bitcoin, in all my videos, I like to give a little bit of a pitch about Bitcoin. So I'll do that quickly. Yesterday, I was talking with some coworkers at work who were not familiar with Bitcoin, and I tried to give some basic ideas. And I do have to credit Michael Saylor with a lot of the basic ideas that I give people because he was one of the influential people in my understanding of Bitcoin. But one thing I will say, I had this coworker who hadn't really heard much about Bitcoin ask like, what is a simple way of explaining why you're so optimistic about Bitcoin? And so I thought about a simple way of describing that. There's many ways. The first thing I always say is it's a fixed supply, 21 million coins, there will never be more. All the other store value, all the other currencies, they are printed. There is more every day that we wake up. There's an expanding supply. In 2019 and 2020, the money supply of US dollars almost doubled. So if you were sitting on $100,000 in cash, the value of that went to $50,000 to $60,000. That's criminal. These nations print money, they use it to fund wars, they use it to monetize violence. You cannot do this with Bitcoin. There will always be more dollars that are entering circulation, there will never be more Bitcoin. So we are valuing an asset that is fixed and finite in currencies that are expanding and infinite. So what that will do to the value of the asset that's finite is it will ascend for forever. That's what's going to happen. Bitcoin's going to be $1 million. It's going to be $100 million. Right now, we can buy it for 90,000. That was the first thing I mentioned, fixed supply, very important. The second thing I mentioned is don't be afraid about unit bias. Don't think that you need $90,000 to get involved with Bitcoin. Put $9 and get 0.0000001 coin each week. Any amount is better than none. That's the basic thing to say. Initially, when I heard about Bitcoin, I thought I had to wait to get money to invest in it, not understanding that the price runs away from you every day that you wait. Start small, start slow, weekly buys. It doesn't need to be significant amounts of money because it will turn into significant amounts of money as long as you allocate. And the third thing I said is just that it's digital capital. Everything that's digital is better than the version of it that's not digital. If you think about various things that have went from physical and material to digital, the physical and material version becomes obsolete. People lose interest in it. They want the quick version of it, the version that can go on their phone. Two examples are physical pictures. When I was little, my family had all of our pictures and our memories stored in physical pictures, photo albums. You go to Snapfish or Staples or whatever, and you print out the pictures that you took on your camera. Nobody does that anymore. Photographers do that. No one does that. No general person is taking pictures on a camera and going to print them out to store them. They're taking them on their phone and they're storing them in a digital space. It's easier, faster, and more, you can access it at any moment. Another example is music. People don't buy records, people don't buy CDs. People go on iTunes or Spotify or any streaming service for music and they get their music. In 10 years, nobody will even know, like the kids in the future will not understand that you used to have to buy physical items to listen to your music. In the same way, the kids in the future will not understand you used to have to carry around paper notes to have goods and services exchanged. We already see it happening. We already see money moving from cash to tap to pay on your iPhone. It makes sense that capital will in the future be all digital. We have digital gold already. We've had it since 2009. People just don't understand that it exists. If you can, if you understand that something like digital gold exists before the masses, you'll be rich. The people in the gold rush that went out west to gather this commodity when it was cheap and abundant, they became rich, extremely rich. Everybody that thought, I don't know about this gold rush. It's probably a passing fad. There'll probably be a better shiny rock that comes along. All those people that stayed not in California to grab some gold, they suffered through the Great Depression and had a horrible life. History doesn't always repeat, but it rhymes. We're going through something similar. We're in a digital gold rush. You want to participate. I'm not saying you need to take out money against your home and put it all into Bitcoin or liquidate yourself and put everything on the line for Bitcoin. But 5% allocation, if you're a middle-aged person, 10% allocation, that's money you can lose. Most people can afford to lose 5 to 10%. It's money that you won't miss if I'm wrong and Bitcoin goes to zero, but it's money that you will regret not allocating to the greatest asset of all time. Because in 10 to 20 years, everyone's going to know. It's going to be common knowledge, and you're going to wish that you acted when it wasn't common knowledge, because that's where the opportunity lies. And yeah, this has been a bit of a rambling style of video, which is fine. That's just what we were going to do today. But I appreciate you listening if you did. Like I said, we got the new setup. The videos in the future will probably be more like this. I hope the audio is coming through clearer. Um, but yeah, have a good one, everybody.